Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I have been, I don't know if you guys saw the last layout update, but I have been struggling a little bit with the content I'm creating on this channel. So if I disappear, that is why. I have a couple of projects that once they get started, they should definitely help that problem, but I have to actually start the projects, and there's a couple of things that need to happen first. So, as that continues, as that progresses, we will be picking up things on this channel more and more. I have some news with the layout. Last update, we built a bit of a... we turned a little empty section into a bit of a field, and I was thinking of getting some cows for it. And we'll probably stop the B-roll here so I can show you. I did, in fact, pick up off, I think it was just off eBay, just a thing of like 30 cows. There are also in here, I don't know if you guys, those little splotches or whatever, because it won't focus. There's a couple of other figures in here as well, with like a milk, you know, somebody with moving a milk can and like, I don't know, farmers or whatever. But I think there's only 4 of those, but there's like 30 cows, I think, so I've put some on the layout here. As you guys can see, I'm probably going to roll some B-roll over this, but this is at least a little bit of a look at it. And I think they look pretty good. They're not like glued down or anything. They're pretty stable, so I'm just going to set them there. Because I'm going to reuse these cows for sure on a better looking cow pasture with like a fence and whatnot. I have some really cool ideas for the future with these, which is why I wanted something a bit bulky. Otherwise I would have gone with probably Woodland Scenics or something, but I needed something bulky. Lots of cows. But I'm also thinking of potentially doing some, as far as ops videos, that I do know I'm not going to do the run-by videos like I was doing anymore, I don't think. It's just not super sustainable and not super interesting, but the ops videos that I had done a couple of times where something actually happened, we may do some of those with some stock cars and these cows. Enough of that, let's move on to the next thing I wanted to get done today, which I've had sitting as a project for absolute ever, which is this right here. This is just some, oh, there's 3 of them. Okay, I don't even know what this is. It's just some like black cardstock foam board, poster board, something like that. I figured that would make a decent enough fascia for what I'm trying to do here. So as you guys can see, like right there, that looks super ugly. I'm not necessarily trying to hide underneath so much as just the like bit of the layout itself. I really don't care too much about the underneath. This spot doesn't look too bad. This was done pretty well, but most of the rest of this has just, after years of getting bumped into and everything, I mean, you guys can't really see it on camera. Let's see if we can get in closer. You can kind of see, I mean, it's just straight styrofoam, and it's just been absolutely torn up. But one of the big sections is over here. This just looks awful because there's like drawings and everything from what was going to be hills. There's these strips of Velcro and everything, but removing these is going to make it look even worse. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to go ahead and probably remove these and redo or put new fascia boards using that poster board or whatever, and that'll kind of do for now. So I guess we'll start off by seeing if we can remove the Velcro. This is what used to hold up the old backdrop because it used to be taller than that and go all the way to this corner, and it was impossible to actually reach anything, so we took it down. And besides, this angle can be pretty great for run-bys and whatnot. So that's another reason why I decided to take that down. But we need something here fascia-wise, so I'm going to go ahead and, I think, begin working on that today. So I will come back whenever I've got some of these removed and show you guys how I'm gonna put the fascia and cut it up and put it on there. Okay guys, the Velcro came off quite a bit easier than I thought it would, and it doesn't look too bad, at least not on camera, but you know, it still looks kind of not super great. So we're still going to do the fascia board. I've gone ahead, I've taken, there's one of the full sheets, but what I went ahead and did, and I cut the cut it into a couple of different sized strips based on where they're going to go. So like this one is not the first one, as you can see, because it doesn't stick up all the way. It goes up over here. It should work pretty well, more or less. But that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead so that I can continue doing that all the way down. And I'm just going to take some simple focus. Take some T-pins and just T-pin it in. For now, I'm probably going to hot glue it later, but I just need something to hold it up for now. As long as there aren't too many holes, it should be fine. And I'll go ahead and do that all across, and I'll show you guys the progress. Okay guys, I've got the fascia temporarily pinned up. I have yet to actually continue, but what I wanted to do was go ahead and show you guys how exactly I was going to do this. So as you can see from this side, especially like right there, it sticks up and such, pointy and forward. There we go. That's what I'm basically going to do. So I'm going to come along. I didn't have a white pencil, so we're just going to use yellow. I'm not going to actually do it right now, but just draw a line along the outside edge of that. And then when it's all done all the way down, I'll take them down and use a box cutter, I guess. That seems to do the trick to cut along that line, and then I should have the finished fascia, and I'll put it back up. Probably T-pin it, and then I'll come back and hot glue it later. I don't think I have any hot glue at the moment. But that should do the trick, and that's basically all I'm going to be doing. It seems to be upsetting the white balance of the camera just slightly, so this may be very interesting. This may change the game a little bit here. So I'm definitely not gonna glue it down today, because I want to test and see, hey, is this going to work, or do I need a different color? So, but that's the basic principle of it. So I will be back with you guys whenever I've got probably the whole thing, now that you know how I'm going to be doing it, all the way done. Okay guys, I got the fascia board all tacked up here right now with just some T-pins. I do not have, I am out of hot glue, so what I'm going to basically do is I'm simply going to hot glue this stuff to the styrofoam, and that should work just fine to hold it up. But that's as far as I can do. I'm out of T-pins. Well, I'm almost out of T-pins. But that is actually all one sheet, and I have two more, so I'll definitely be able to get all the way down there and maybe wrap around the side. But it doesn't look too bad. And from the other side, it's almost completely unnoticeable. There's one spot you can't really see on camera right there that is noticeable, but it's otherwise almost completely unnoticeable. So that is a plus. And I'd say it does make a pretty big difference. Like, this looks honestly quite a bit better. It just looks more finished, I guess. Now, it would be a little bit better. There's kind of like a white line of undone plaster right down the edge. So I may come up and try and touch that up a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it does look much more finished, I think. So the goal is to go around the hole in the middle and around the whole sides. Not worried about back there. But that's the goal there. and everything. I will say as well, if you guys have any ideas with potentially what I could do, and I do mean real suggestions because I've had a couple of funny people in the comments in the past, but this is a old Mikado that doesn't work. At one point the motor was ripped out and put into a I believe a P-47 Thunderbolt in 1:48 scale, but which has now burnt out as well. But it wasn't running for whatever reason, but the motor still worked, so we cannibalized it at one point. But I put it back together into this form, and then I weathered it up as if it had been sitting out for a bunch. Now, it used to be sitting on this spur here, but if there's cows here now, I don't really want that. And besides, we might be able to simulate, because I don't actually have stock pens here, but simulate a bit of a stock train, since I have a couple stock cars. But, so it can't go there anymore, and there's not really room over in this area. I could use that track, but I don't want to use that track because I already want other stuff to go there. That's a good spot to have like a switcher, or as I've got there now, an auxiliary tender, stuff like that. So there's not exactly a good spot to do it. I've already got something else that doesn't work, an old narrow gauge kit that I kind of botched as I was building. I almost got it. It was the second kit I think that I'd ever built, and the first one also doesn't run. It did, and then it didn't. But if you have any suggestions for what to do with that, I've got another over there that I weathered up and just put by the station. But if you got any suggestions for what to do with that, at least for the time being, be sure to let me know. But I think that is more or less going to do it for today. I hopefully will be back next week with, I want to make some hay bales. See if I can attempt to make some hay bales. So if you don't see anything next week, it's probably because I didn't make hay bales, I made a mess. So if I make a mess, you may or may not see it, but if I make hay bales, then you guys will probably see that next week. As well as maybe some other stuff as well. But that is pretty much going to do it, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and a comment and everything if you did enjoy, if you've got comments, questions, anything like that. I do try to answer all comments. I will say I don't tolerate toxic comments. I've had a few in the last couple of weeks. But I do encourage comments. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, so we'll see you in the next one. Later, everybody.